about it. We start delivering those, and suddenly your everyday person now has access to quantum, which up until now they'd never had that access. Right. Now you're in a different conversation entirely.
Well, yes. I guess I'll bring that question up now, and maybe that'll you can go ahead into that announcement.
I think it probably works well with this question, doesn't it? So yeah. Will the fully workable new chip be presented this year, and if yes, where? Okay, so I'll answer the first part. Will the new chip be available this year? Yes, it's actually a little bit further ahead than we were expecting. Some extra refinements have been done. PCBs are now being screen printed and ready for batch production.
Wow.
So I actually get my prototype to work on probably in 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
So just in time for my birthday.
Perfect. And then my prototype comes
Happy birthday.
But yeah, the other part to that is that obviously we've looked at the benchmarks. We're very happy with the benchmarks. If actually a little bit surprised by the benchmarks, but it's also led us down another path that opened up because of it. We're going to produce not only a room temperature quantum chip, but we're going to repurpose any that don't meet our specifications that are just underneath that threshold kind of thing. Like what you'd call like a poor bin kind of scenario, and convert them into what will be the very first quantum compute card designed specifically around quantum encryption. So think of it this way. Nothing on a PC is truly random, right? You can reverse engineer a PC knowing its time, its date, and so forth, and be able to reverse engineer the random number it might generate you. Right? It's how a lot of people manage to bypass password generators, for example. If you know the exact date and time and a machine UID, you can actually start to reverse engineer the ability to actually get that random number out.
Okay.
What would you do if you had a quantum chip do the randomness for you using a 16-bit adder and 16 qubits worth of compute, or even 32-bit qubits worth of compute? Even a GPU can only simulate about 10 to 12 qubits worth of compute. So anything above that, and it technically could help with things like securing keys. 2FA could make use of it. But think of this like a dedicated card specifically. Its only purpose is going to be to provide quantum encryption methodologies. So that'll be then completely open sourced. We're going to open source not the chip, but the actual software that runs the chip. We're going to open source that so that then companies, users, hardware wallets even can actually make use of those if they so wish to. I think actually it's got as much a benefit as room temperature quantum has. Like if we're looking at that stage where everyone has a quantum chip in their PC, then we need to come out with quantum encryption before that becomes a reality.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, it's the same as if tomorrow somebody turned around and said, "Oh, they've breached RSA, 4096 or whatever it is," right? And it's the top spec military grade encryption. There better be somebody also turning around the same day and saying, "Well, we've already got that ready and in the works," kind of thing. So for us, it's something that I've had a big passion about. I've not made any different statements around that ever since the first day I got involved with DYNEX. My first role solely has been, can we produce a quantum solution to not only buy us time, but protect, because it's not going to be long before those possibilities become a reality, and we better have those things ready beforehand. So so basically those will be launching at the same time as Apollo comes out. So not only are we doing one type card, we're doing two. Nothing like giving ourselves more work, right? But, yeah.
So with these cards, what's the price range that's going to retail at?
The prices are still coming in. We're seeing if we can get them any cheaper. I think the first batch is going to be the priciest of them all, obviously, because we're only running off 100. Once we start scaling up, I believe the next pricing point is like 1,000 kind of thing, and then it drops quite considerably, and then 10,000 again, it drops quite considerably.
Right.
We might be able to also source some of our parts from alternative suppliers other than where the fabricator gets it, and then we can obviously make savings where we can. But right now, the price is fluctuating a little bit, so I'll hold off getting myself too much in trouble by giving it.
It's going to be a little crazy then.
Yeah, fair enough. Man, I'll tell you what, just listening to that, I'm scaredy. I'm like a scaredy cat right now thinking about
I am too. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Ultimately, people who use this kind of solution, or whoever, you know, is in security, will understand this. You know, most security people are all on dark websites, you know, trying to keep the finger on the pulse of what's coming. And, you know, I've already seen some proof of concepts of quantum cracking already on the dark web. And that's scary enough, right? They just don't have the compute power available to them to go large scale examples. They can only do a small case proof of concept.
Yeah.
So, you know, that to me says, well, if they're already playing it on the dark web and they've got proof of concepts that they just haven't been able to fully test yet, chances are they're still a way away from it yet. But even so, seeing proof of concept scared the hell out of me.
It's scary, very scary.
To me, I want to be ahead of that curve. I want to stay one step ahead. Well, the way we stay one step ahead is either buy ourselves some time with some sort of intermediary product, or fix it entirely and say, well, it's dealt with before it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
So
let's go with that.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my thought.
Let's go with that.
Get ahead of it. If we can be 2-3 years ahead of the curve, then, you know, that gives us a little bit more comfort to know that as we scale up, we're not going to be the root cause of all hell breaking loose.
Right. Damn.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if you want to expand on this anymore. I know we've already kind of touched on the chip, but where it's talking about fees, burn, staking, that kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. So we already have our holders incentive program, which is our take on effectively staking. Right? I hate using that term though. It's too narrow for what ours can do. We've got holders on Ethereum wrap token, and we've got holders on our native token. We're now in the process of obviously activating that for everyone to use, whether it be native or wrapped. Then you've got a choice. For a long time, it was only wrapped because obviously contracts make it a nice, easy possibility to do any kind of staking rewards or any kind of rewards in general. It was a little bit more tricky to make sure it's all valid and working on our native chain. But yeah, we're actually in the process of integrating it into our other two wallets right now. So we've got it in the web wallet right now, but the Electron wallet and the QT wallet are next up on the list. So hopefully there'll be all of that. There won't be a problem. Now, as for use of the token, we've been actively, you know, looking at actually building apps for DYNEX coins to be used on. So that might be, I don't know, a portfolio optimization option where you upload it, what you're into, whether it be stocks and shares or crypto side of it. And then it can obviously offer you that portfolio optimization. You know, there's a good load of different things we got in the pipeline. Two-way messaging app, which is something that's really interesting to me again, because it can use quantum encryption for the 2 key handshakes. And you could literally pay, all you would need to do is pay the DYNEX for the key exchange, right? So you would pay a small transaction fee every time you initiate a new contact's conversation. But once you are already talking, you could effectively continue talking because that key handshake pair has already been done.
Right.
It would only be for new conversations.
So is that something that's already rolled out, or is that something that's
we showed a proof of concept of it. We're actually in the process of actually integrating it more fully now into a full-blown messaging app. I like the idea of a fully encrypted network that is directly P2P. So there's no middleman server, right? It's instantly connecting you to the person you're speaking to. And that's why you need to do the quantum key handshakes on both sides of the equation, that is as well. So it's not just you as the user, you have to also have the person on the other end also pay DYNEX to effectively create their keys for that handshake. So that's going to be interesting and go quite nicely with our new quantum encryption card. Obviously that could be its first applicable use case straight out of the box, could be for a messaging app, so that it encrypts all your data in and out.